All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Combat BS, episode 8. We're going to break down UFC 325. We're going to recap UFC 324, talk about a little bit of the news of the new year, the Paramount Plus deal. Little sneak peek. Dana White announces, or not Dana White announces, Paramount announces they got 100 or 4.93 concurrent, 5.93 total viewers or something like that, not including multicasting. Um, they announced they got 1 million new subscribers just from this event, like at the time of this event. So really an overall success for the UFC, for Paramount as new partners, and just an awesome finish to the card, a good start to the card, a rough middle. I'll be honest. I was at a watch party with some coworkers. It could have gone better, but hey, good night overall. We're right back at it this weekend, so let's break down what happened on the first Paramount card. All right, and here's what I was talking about with that great start. Ty Miller knocks out Adam Fugit at the very end of round number one. Um, just an awesome fight. I mean, Ty Miller's boxing as slick as can be. He got hit with that elbow that cut him right up in the hairline. Let's see here. Let me share my screen. Sorry. Should have been doing that earlier. All right. Ty Miller got cut right up here in the hairline here by a spinning elbow that Adam Fugit threw. And Ty Miller comes from boxing and he's relatively new to the sport. So um, that's something he's going to have to get used to as he moves up, or else he's going to get caught and hurt really badly. But just a really good fight from him. Won himself a bonus, I believe. Josh Hokett beat the dog shit out of Denzel Freeman. I mean, he was spanking him in the fight. He was doing a one thrust on his back while he was on top of him, flipping him off while Denzel's wobbling all over the place and gets a stoppage. Josh Hokett is one of those guys that's super cringe. I watched an interview with Ariel Helwani, or at least parts of it. It was hard to watch. I skipped through most of it, but just playing a weird Irish Australian slash whatever accent, really brutal to watch. But if he can just pick his lane of like the Chael Sonnen, but also be himself a little bit in interviews, he might have a place with that. People just want you to be yourself, and dude's an absolute tank in the octagon, so he needs to keep that up. Alex Perez, Charles Johnson. I like Charles Johnson a lot. This hurt me because Alex Perez missed weight. Like, I'm okay if my guy loses, but like whenever it's a guy that misses weight, gets a knockout, it bums me out. Great performance from Alex Perez getting the knockout, but he's got to get that weight thing under control. It sucks for Charles Johnson. With the win over Josh Van, he had a chance to really take this win one more, and then get a shot at the title. But because Alex Perez misses weight, he's a little more, you know, not quite as drained, even though he did drain himself to get to one. Geez, sorry, 128. Charles Johnson just drained himself even more and got caught with that left hook and put out. Nikita Krylov, Modestus Bukauskas. If you watched my combat bet slip last week, Modestus Bukauskas, I picked him to win in rounds 1 or 2. I forgot how horrible he is at striking. I mean, Nikita Krylov is a corpse, and he, I mean, he was getting outstruck the entire fight, and then Nikita just was keeping his distance, playing with him a little bit, and then finds the finish late. Don't care. That was also parlayed with Teba Gautier to get a finish within the first 2 rounds. He knocks Andre Puliev down in the first, or Pulaev, whatever you want to call it, down within the first like 25 seconds of the fight, and then doesn't push for the finish, and then kind of just has a long fight where he's landing these power shots, but Puliev's leaning way back out of the way and just like not getting hit clean, and nothing's really like they're hitting him, but they're hitting him moving back, so it's not rocking him as bad. And it just was a really boring fight, to be honest, for a Tibia Gautier fight and what you expect out of him. But good for Tibia Gautier to get 15 minutes under his belt moving forward. The last prelim, Umar Nurmagomedov against Davison and Figueiredo. Uh, yeah, hated this fight. Umar Nurmagomedov has to be more impressive when he's a minus 1,400. I even saw minus 1,800 as the fight opened, and it's just like, if Umar's going to be a favorite that big, why is he not unable to finish a guy in Figueiredo who's got finished by Corey Sandhagen? Like, you can say that he got injured in the fight, quote unquote, but freaking Corey put him in that spot, tore his knee. Like, why can't Umar submit this guy? Why can't Umar knock out this guy? Why can't Umar do something impressive if he's this massive of a favorite on cards like this? There's a reason he's stuck on the prelims. It's a reason he's not getting another title shot right away. This dude is just a decision merchant lately, and it's like the only guy who's finished recently is who? I think it's the guy who beat Peyton Talbot last January. What's his name? Um, Gosh, Ione Barcelos. Like that's the only guy who's finished recently, and it's gonna be hard for him to get back to the title picture with that loss to Marab if he can't have an impressive performance against one of these top guys. Next up, featherweight bout, Gene Silva, Arnold Allen. This fight, I bet on Gene Silva and Talia Silva in a parlay. That one hit, and I'll explain exactly how much money I have now moving forward. Um, I really expected Arnold Allen to be able to keep that motion and that moving, going his way in his corner after 2 rounds they thought they were up to. I personally thought it could be 1-1, could be 2-0 Arnold, and then round 3, Gene Silva won, but they gave it there was a judge that gave Gene all 3 rounds, and I thought that was crazy. I thought it should have been 29-28 split into Gene, but I mean, just a crazy, crazy fight. There was super entertaining moments. They were both trading in the pocket in the third, and Gene jumps on his back for some reason with that full level autism. Just you know, one of the most strangely emotional guys, but I didn't show a lot of that early in this fight, and maybe that's him just trying to prove to himself he can control his emotions in the biggest moments of his career. So good on him. Good fight. Unfortunate that he couldn't get a finish. Moving up on the card, Natalia Silva and Rose Namajunas. This fight was also super close. I scored this in real time for Rose. I also scored. I didn't think Natalia did very well. Like she was keeping a distance and not landing a lot, and it just sucks for Rose, who was so close to another title shot and loses a very close decision, and now it basically has to go to, to Natalia unless they're going to let Shevchenko moved up and fight at 135. But with Harris being out for a while, I don't think that's going to happen. So looks like we're getting Natalia Silva versus Valentina Shevchenko. Next on the card, Waldo Cortez Acosta fights Derek Lewis. This fight was it was a heavyweight banger. I mean, going into it, everybody was hype. Everybody was ready to see somebody get knocked out in a dramatic fashion, and Derek Lewis just struggled to close that distance. He does have really long, lanky, awkward footwork. Like he spreads his legs apart whenever he's trying to swing that overhand, kind of just get a wide base to throw from. And a lot of times that footwork gets him unable to close the distance well because his next step has to involve so much effort and time. Waldo was such a great athlete coming from baseball, and I mean, this dude was just jabbing out of pocket, jabbing out of the pocket, right hand out of the pocket, body out of the pocket. Like he was so good for a heavyweight at getting out of the way of everything Derek was throwing and frustrating him. The moment Derek did try to close the distance, he timed that jab, put it on Derek, and Derek just quit. Like he fell down and just accepted it. And Waldo showed no mercy. He went down there and pounded him out after not going into his guard the first time. Crazy decision, but whatever. Waldo wins by knockout. Good fight for Waldo, bad fight for Derek. We move on. Derek can still be on the White House card. He's a huge star. Co-main event: Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. This fight was tough to score. Round one, I definitely was giving it to Sean O'Malley in real time. I don't think Song Yadong did anything with the takedown. He got it, but he didn't do anything down there. He didn't do any damage, and it was so late in the round, it really didn't mean anything. Sean was landing the heavier shots that round. Song Yadong wins round two with a lot of control and a little bit of damage here and there. Sean's legs looked absolutely battered after round two. I didn't think Sugar Sean O'Malley could get back in it and really dominate Song. I thought he was going to have to edge out in round three and win a close decision. But yeah, Sugar put it on Song in that third round. I was impressed with him. The ability to take damage to your lower half, look like shit the entire second round, motion movement wise, and then just come back, land that knee in the third round, do some damage, have good footwork, stay out of harm's way. Really impressive third round, specifically from Sean O'Malley. I think everybody would like to see him get another title shot against Piotr Jan specifically because the history they have. But I mean, Marab probably deserves it. So we'll see which way the UFC decides to go. I just saw Piotr came out of surgery today, so who knows what they're looking to do with him? Might have to wait till after the White House at this rate. Um, Lightweight interim title. Everybody knows Patty versus Justin. I took Patty. I didn't bet on Patty. I just took Patty whenever I was picking the fights. Um, Justin Gaethje with an all-time brawl performance gets right in his face from the get-go. There was a moment in that first round, like right before he dropped Patty, where Patty just looked sluggish, and I was what like ever me and Easton, my friend, sorry, me and one of my friends watch fights every single week, and he took a jab to the chest, said it was. I still haven't been able to rewatch the specific moment that happened, but Patty just started looking really sluggish, and I was very confused. I was like, "He's hurt. He's hurt." Like I didn't know what it was, and then Gaethje hits him with like a like a so-so left hook or so-so right hand. I can't remember which one it was. Patty just falls onto his back, and Gaethje goes for the finish. Doesn't get it. Patty builds back to his feet, takes an all-time beating, wins that third round. Gaethje comes back, wins the fourth, seals the win unless Patty can find a finish. Really, really competitive fifth round. I thought maybe lean Patty, but either it doesn't matter. Gaethje won the fight. Incredible fight. Really wish that Armand was put in this slot against Gaethje, but you know, is what it is. UFC likes their stars. It was a great fight. Um, and a good way to open up the card considering who the audience is. The audience is Paramount Plus for the first time. There's probably a lot of people who never wanted to buy the pay-per-view, who always thought maybe that UFC would be cool, and they have already Paramount, so they decided to check it out. This fight was a bar fight, and those kinds of fights are gonna build fans. The UFC is not looking to make the most technical five-round decision fight of all time. They're looking for wars, they're looking for knockouts, they're looking for entertainers, they're looking for personalities. That's why you see Justin Gaethje and Patty fighting because it would be more entertaining than Armin being in it because he would dominate one of them. Patty's a character. Sean O'Malley is a character who people recognize. Derek Lewis is a character who people recognize. Waldo's on a two-fight KO streak, now three-fight KO streak, and fighting a lot recently. Rose Namajunas is a former champion. Natalia was a pretty exciting fighter before that fight. Gene Silva's exciting. Umar's a guy that's last name is noticeable. Former champion, exciting. Like they just tried to stack this card with people who are either recognizable or have good personality or have an entertaining fighting style to try to build that fan base in their first show on Paramount Plus. So they did a good job of that, and they're going to do a good job of it this next weekend as well as we transition here to UFC 325. Um, I'm not gonna pick a lot of these fights. I don't know enough about the guys on the early prelims. I don't know a whole lot about the guy Oben Elliott's fighting. I know he's came off of a contender series or one of the UFC shows. He's talented, but I'm not gonna pick that fight. I'm not gonna pick the Torres Finney's fight because he just wants to wrestle and do nothing else. Cam Ralston versus Cody Brundage. I will break this one down. Cam Ralston is a absolute beast. He did a good job early in his career on the local scenes on the ground, and his stand up is improving. Cody Brundage is one of those guys that's, he's a so-so guy. He's a borderline UFC fighter. One of those guys that is a UFC fighter but could be cut any day. He's got the craziest like Tapology rainbow. I see Cam Ralston winning this fight either by finish or decision, obviously, but won't be close. I don't think or maybe it will be close, but I don't think Cody Burns has what it takes to continue to win the UFC. Billy Alicana versus Junior Tafa. I'll take Billy Alicana here. Junior Tafa is Justin Tafa's younger brother. He's a guy who dropped down from heavyweight after getting beat up a lot. He's a good fighter. He's an entertaining fighter because of his last name, because of the personality, because of the heavy hands. But and obviously a countryman from Australia on the Australian card. He'll have the fans behind him, but Billy Alicana just looked really good in his last fight, and I don't see Junior Tafa beating guys that look legit, that fight legit, and Junior Tafa should get matchups similar to his to tied to Ivasa, where he gets guys that are lower end UFC fighters, guys like Cody Brundage, even though they're not in the same weight class. You know what I mean? Guys that he can beat up on and look good and have a good showing in front of his country. I don't think Billy Elikana is that. So give me Billy Elikana. Quillen Salkilled versus what's supposed to be Rong Zhu now is Jamie Malarkey. Sucks for Jamie Malarkey. He's getting put out here. And I don't know if it'll be knockout. I don't know if it'll be submission. He is either going to have to tap or go to sleep one way or the other. Quillen is a talented young man. My rookie of the year from last year over at Taba Gautier. Personally, that fight in June was very impressive to watch him grapple guys the way he did, the 2 knockouts, but his parents owned a bakery with a head kick, just the sick tattoo, the mustache. He's got it all when it comes to an Australian star, and, look to I look forward to seeing him put the pieces together even more this weekend. I think he's gonna get Jamie Mullarkey out of there. Not really worth betting straight up, and I will show you the way it's worth betting. A little sneak peek to the combat bet slip here at the end of the show. Heavyweights tied to Ivasa versus Talison Teixeira. Ty's coming off a long layoff, and there's no real good way to handicap that. The man took a long break from UFC, from fighting, from training, and put on some pounds, had some family time, went back to the gym, cut that weight back down, and now he's back. Taliesin Teixeira only lost to Derek Lewis. Really tall, rangy guy, dangerous in the clinch. Uh, just ask Junior Toff or Justin Toffa. He flattened his nose with one elbow. And yeah, I'm gonna take Tai Tuivasa to get knocked out here. I'll show you how to bet it in just a moment. Rafael Fiziev versus Mauricio Rufy. Um, just one moment. Can I pause? Call. Um, Next up on the fight list is Rafael Fiziev versus Mauricio Rufy. Um, this fight is gonna be a tough one to call. Let me pull this up on UFC Agent. Um, if you look at these guys' skill sets, Rafael Fiziev clearly has a path to victory. Mauricio Rufy has um, solid takedown defense, but not good enough um, for a guy like Rafael Fiziev, especially when you got guys out there that are like Benoit Saint Denis, who took him down and just had his way with him, face cranked him. Um, Takedown accuracy for I don't know why Rufy's is 0 as scissor takedown, but maybe they didn't count it down. Anyway, Fiziev has a path to victory right here. If you look, you see 57% takedown accuracy for Fiziev. You see the striking for Rufy is um he's better at damage mitigation is Fiziev. He's sorry, is Rufy. Striking accuracy, Mauricio Rufy slightly more accurate. Mauricio Rufy throws slightly less punches. Um, Mauricio has great kicks. He's one of those guys that has good hands and good enough hands in the pocket, really sharp hands, heavy hands. But he's really, really good if he can keep you at that kicking range, make you uncomfortable, and force you to want to close the distance. He can catch you. But Fiziev is one of those dudes who's built like a truck. I mean, if you've seen him on social media this week, he looks like he fights at 170. He's built, man. And going up against a guy like Mauricio Rufy is not going to be easy, but Fiziev has the striking to keep it, manageable and not get hurt on the feet. And I think if he can just land a few takedowns and some damage on the ground, even if Rufy he's been training with Volk, a guy who's very similar size to Fiziev, but I just think that Rufy, even if has better takedown defense and better stand up off the ground game, like get up game, I just think Fiziev can do enough on the feet to keep the rounds close to win it with those takedowns. Do just enough damage on the ground, do just enough with chasing the takedowns to make Rufy just not be able to use his offense. So if I had to be forced to bet this, I would probably go with Fiziev or I would take Mauricio with some points. But I don't really love either of these, to be honest. And so we'll see what happens. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a close fight. It's going to be a competitive fight. I'm looking forward to watching it, but it's just a stay away fight for me. Give me a Fiziev if I have to, though. Lightweight fight: Dan Hooker, Benoit Saint-Denis. Benoit fought on the Madison Square Garden card, knocked out old man, gray hair. Gosh, why can't I remember his name off the top of my head? It's gonna make me mad. Dariush, Benil Dariush. Sorry. Um, Meanwhile, Hooker just fought, lost to Armand Sarikyan. Can't really blame him for that. And then beats Mateusz Gamrot right before that. So he's a guy who's going to be ready for war. Benoit will be as well. I think Benoit's grappling is on another level compared to Dan's. All Benoit something he has to do is just get past the first probably 4 minutes, 5 minutes on the feet, and he'll win this fight. I love Dan Hooker, so I'm not betting against him. BSD, I think will win. I'm not betting on this fight. Moving on. Volkanovski versus Lopez. This fight, I think Lopez will be better. There was a lot of areas he could have been better in his last fight with Volk. Volk, I think he will be better. He's better in rematches. He is the champion. He is a guy with so much fight experience and so much fight IQ and so many different skills that allow him to kind of mold to whatever opponent he's facing. Outside of obviously like a guy like Islam who has every talent in the world. And I'm not gonna really count the Taporia knockout. Taporia has unreal power and Volk was fresh off a KO. So it counts, but it doesn't really count when you're breaking down him as a fighter. Um, Diego Lopez here has more ways to win, in my opinion. I think he could catch Volkanovski in a submission. He's a great submission artist. I think he could knock out Volkanovski with Volkanovski's aging. He's been knocked out a few times. Uh, Volk's chin held up in the first fight. Who knows how it'll hold up in the second fight? If I have to take a fight or a bet on this fight, I am taking Diego Lopez minus 9.5, and I will show you why in our next segment, the combat bet slip, and that's where it's just me. Here we go. These are the picks I'm going with. Last week on the combat bet slip, I went with Gene Silva and Natalia Silva at minus 133 at $15. $15 paid 26.29. The other bet I went with, I get $25 per pay per view. So I went with $10 on a Teddy Gautier to win in rounds 1 or 2, and Modestus Bukauskas to win in rounds 1 or 2. That one did not hit, so I lost 10 there, but I gained 26.29 on the other one. Overall, we are up $1.29 on the year. This week, I will be going with Taliesin Teixeira money line, Diego Lopez plus 9.5. Sorry, I'm gonna change that. What am I thinking with the Taliesin Teixeira? Give me one moment. I gotta change that. I feel like I can win a lot more money than that. Fight lines, Diego Lopez, 9.5. If you go to Diego Lopez plus 9.5, it's minus 205. I don't see a world where Volk finishes Diego Lopez, so I will put that one in there. And then Taliesin Teixeira by knockout. My apologies. Pushes it to plus 114. That's better. $15 I'm placing on that bet. That would be $15 at plus 114 to pay 32.23. My other bet that I'm going to go with, and here we go, break it down for you. Oh, I didn't even save it. I'm sorry. Hold on. I screenshot my bets so I can actually look at them. Let me log back in here. My apologies. My other bet is $10. We're putting $10 on Quillen Salkill to win in rounds 1 or 2 at minus 130 or minus, I think, 330. Let me look at the singles on this. Yeah, minus 330. Cam Ralston minus 330 is the second leg, and Billy Alicana minus 245 is the third leg. This parlay pays plus 134. We're going $10 on it. That pays 23.44. That is our second parlay. We're up by $1.29. We have a chance to go up even more this next week, and I'm pretty confident that we will. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Combat BS show. That was the Combat Bet slip. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, and we'll be right back with you next week. Thanks, guys.